Oh well, here I am again, Peter Fox, coming to you from St Edward's Castle, Donington. I don't know about you, I can't believe how fast this last year has gone. Hardly seems possible that Christmas is just around the corner. I mean, to be absolutely honest with you, I'm recovering from the Christmas before last. The years just seem to get a lot shorter. Is that just me? Yes, okay, perhaps it is just me. It does seem to me the years get shorter. This year's been a very strange one, but at least it finishes on a high note. At least there's some chance this year that we're going to be able to do all the old-fashioned ordinary things that people usually do at Christmas. We're going to be able to meet together in our families. We're going to be able to do the ordinary things that go with Christmas. I'm really looking forward to that. We missed it so much last year, didn't we? All the ordinary things. I mean, back at St Edward's now, people are able to go to church at long last, at least. We have to be a bit careful still. I mean, we're still doing all this business with face masks and hand sanitizer and all of that stuff. But at least we'll be able to meet up together over Christmas. So that's something, isn't it? And we're looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to all the things we've always done before last year. I'm looking forward to having the grandchildren around so we can play together. I mean, it's very difficult when there are no grandchildren. Nobody will play with me. They're all too grown up. And there's the family gathering around the table and the turkey and the Christmas pudding and all that good stuff. The sort of things we usually do at Christmas. And we all missed so much last year. It's the old familiar things I'm looking forward to. Speaking of old familiar things, my wife Angie, I was going to say, my wife Angie says I'm an old familiar thing. Well, I'm very old-fashioned in lots of ways. I mean, for instance, this time of year has always been strange for me because the church is, as so often, completely out of step with what everybody else is doing. I mean, for everyone else, they've been listening to Christmas carols since the middle of October. They've been going to supermarkets and things, and they've had Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer coming over the loudspeakers for what seems like months already. And, Christmas decorations are already up everywhere and have been for a while. Whereas in the church, of course, we're not really celebrating Christmas yet. We're keeping Advent. Advent is supposed to be a time of fasting. It's a time of doing without something. Fat chance of that in this day and age. I mean, never mind starting the 12 days of Christmas on Christmas Eve. By the time we get to the middle of the afternoon on Christmas Day, most people have finished. It's only the church that's carrying right on its happy way. So for us, this time is Advent. It's supposed to be a time a bit like Lent. It's a time for giving something up, which sounds a sort of fairly bleak prospect. People who don't use fasting, they don't understand it really. Fasting is actually a joyful thing, because when you give up something that you really enjoy for a short time, it means that when you go back to being able to enjoy that thing, whatever it might be, it can be something as simple as just sweets or chocolate or whatever. When you go back after having spent a period fasting, you really enjoy those things more than ever before. It's like you regain the joy of it. It's really as if last year, with all our coronavirus lockdowns, we were fasting, whether we liked it or not. We were fasting on things that we love. We were fasting on time spent together as family. We were fasting on, a normal Christmas. And just as with all fasting, this year the fast is over, and we'll enjoy it all the more for that. There'll be so much joy this year in doing the ordinary Christmas things. The funny thing about it is, I know that for a lot of you, all this talk of fasting, of giving something up for Advent, probably sounds very strange and seriously old-fashioned. But there's a funny thing happening. The kids, they get it. The young people, they really understand this. They really relate to the idea that sometimes You have to show your gratitude by going without something. You know, it's the joy. The fasting leads to the joy of feasting. And young people get it. They just don't think we're going quite far enough. For them, it's not a matter of just giving up sweets for Advent or Lent. They want us to do some serious giving up. They want us to give up petrol in our cars and coal and oil in our factories. They want us to give up plastic being thrown into the sea. They want us to live as if we cared about this planet. And if that means going without things we've always taken for granted, so be it. So the funny thing is, it's a bit like my flares, really. First of all, they were fashionable, then they became unfashionable. Wait long enough, they come back into fashion again. And now, understanding that sometimes, if you love something and you want to truly show your gratitude for it, you have to be prepared to go without for a little while. Well, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. And by the time we get to Christmas Eve, the fasting will be over. I hope that this year you can have a true feast, being with your family and your friends, celebrating the birth of Christ in the old, familiar ways. God bless.